Hey guys, what is up? It is Dan. Welcome to another episode of Guitar Talk. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much to those of you that have supported the channel so far. Roll that intro. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are looking at this unusual guitar. It is the Fender Vintera Roadworn Mischief maker. So this is a collaboration between UK guitar store Andertons, who are known all over the world for their YouTube videos. You know, they're one of the UK's biggest guitar stores, and Fender. It's part of the Vintera range. It's Roadworn. It's based on a little custom shop run that's done every now and again, called the Mischief maker, which is like a cross between a Strat and a Telecaster. Starting off with the body specs as we normally do, it's an older body, 3-ply scratch plate, volume, 2 tones, 5-way switch, input, nothing unusual there. You've got American pure vintage 59 pickups. Obviously, as you can see, it's finished in this purple sparkle finish, which is actually quite nice in person. It's finished in nitro, so with the Roadworn stuff, you've got some cracking in the finish to make it look nice and old. Obviously, you've got wear patterns all over the body as well. Moving over to the neck on this, it's a 50s style telly neck, so it's quite chunky. It's a big C shape. You've got vintage style tuners, which are the top loading style. You've got 21 frets. It's a 25.5-inch scale. It's a 7.25-inch radius. And again, it's Roadworn, so the back of the neck is nice and satin feeling. Tone-wise on this, with the maple neck and the pure vintage 59 pickups, there is plenty of brightness and spank involved in this guitar. I mean, obviously it's the typical thing where they've made vintage style pickups, so they've just added loads of sparkle and top end on these. You can get some really cool vintage style Fender tones out of this. Feel-wise, straight out of the box on this, you know, I've said before, I always want to be honest with you guys. I don't want to be one of those reviewers on YouTube who just says that everything's amazing that they get to play. Straight out of the box, this thing wasn't great. It wasn't set up very well. I don't think it was looked at before it was sent out to us. So when you put it in standard tuning, the bridge was sticking up, so the action was really high. It was horrible to play. So I had to sort that out before I did this video so that I could actually play it. So I had to take the back off and adjust all the tension on the screws in the back to get the springs right. Plays a lot better now. The frets, I don't think it's a Roadworn thing, because I've played other Roadworn Strats and Tellys and they've not been like this to like mimic shrinkage or anything, but the fret ends on this are a little bit sharp. I mean, before we get rid of this, it's something that we'll address. But yeah, a little bit disappointing straight out of the box on this one, especially when it's a limited run. It's become a little bit more frequent recently with some of the new Fender stuff that especially the Mexican stuff, that it's not been set up great straight out of the box. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic, so there might be some issues there. So hopefully it's something that they'll sort out and address going forward. But, you know, as I said, I just want to be honest with you guys, straight out of the box, a little bit disappointing. So stability on this, you know, once it's in tune with this, the tuners are doing their job really well. It's holding tuning fantastically. I've given this thing a play for about an hour and a half now, just going through different tones and sounds, and I've not exactly been very light with it, and I've been quite heavy-handed with it, and I've got to say it's actually held up tuning awesomely. So top marks for that one. So in terms of how this plays and how it feels to play it, not talking about like straight out of the box and how it was set up, it feels a little bit weird to start off with, because you've got those Strat style tones, you've got the Strat kind of configuration, but with that big chunky 50s telly style neck, it's a little bit weird to get used to at first, because there's just something that doesn't feel right about it. But then, you know, the idea is it's the Mischief maker. It's obviously something that Fender are doing more and more at the moment with like their parallel universe kind of things, where they're just mixing up different models and putting them together. So yeah, it just feels odd to start with, but once you've been playing it for half an hour, it just starts feeling normal and it starts making sense. You know, I find that with a lot of guitars anyway, that you pick something up that's different, you play it for a while, it just starts feeling normal. But yeah, this took a little bit of getting used to when I started playing it, but it is really good. I quite like it. So this has got the 7 1/4 inch radius, which is a little bit polarizing for some people. I've mentioned in other videos. It's really vintage style, and a lot of people worry that because it's got that round radius that you won't be able to get a low action and you won't be able to do big bends without it choking out. That's not a problem with this guitar. It bends absolutely fine. The action on this is quite low. I wouldn't say it's high by any means, and it's really comfortable to play. So as I have played more and more guitars with this radius fretboard, I'm actually finding I really, really like it. There's just something about it that makes me groove more, play with more feeling. There's that little bit of extra fight compared to a much flatter fretboard, and it's just something that over time I am growing to really enjoy. Looking at the finish on this thing, you know, it's the Roadworn finish, which again is something that's really polarizing with people. I guess you could say with the vintage style radius fretboard, the relicking, and also the fact that it's purple and sparkly. This guitar might possibly be one of the most polarizing Fenders that I've actually seen. But as I said, in person, the purple looks really nice to me. It's quite tasteful. I'm not sure how it's coming across to you guys on camera, but I really like it. The relicking has been done quite tastefully as well, so it's not overboard. Where you've got the nitro finish, you've got some cool cracking as well. To me, it's not realistic. It's not custom shop level. It's not the same as a proper old vintage Fender. But in terms of looks and how they've pulled it off, I think they've done it really well. I actually quite like Roadworn finishes. I don't get why people get so butthurt about it. It's a finish option, the same as, do you want a blue guitar? Do you want a red guitar? Do you want some wood showing on the guitar? Do you want the paint a bit cracked? Do you want it to look old? Do you want to paint your house pink, blue, yellow? Do you want a white car, a yellow car? It's just a finish option. I really like it. I don't know about you guys, but I think it looks awesome. So going over the tone of this thing again, it's got the Fender Pure Vintage 59 pickups in it. In terms of how they sound, you know, they've got that bright 59 spank and sparkle to them, but there's also this nice, rich kind of mid-warmth to them. Now, compared to actual vintage Fender pickups, you know, I find there's a certain low-end characteristic you get with vintage Fender pickups, whether they're cool 70s pickups, 60s pickups, 50s pickups. I don't know if it's something that happens to the magnets over time or the windings, but there's just this really nice low-end thud that you get when you hit the low strings or you just hit that low E. There's just this beautiful, warm plume to the note that just, I don't know many companies over the years that have done vintage style pickups where they can accurately replicate that sound. And these pickups certainly don't have that characteristic to them. But for what they are, and in terms of the sounds that you can get out of them, they do sound really cool, and they're just nice and dynamic, and there's loads of sounds that you can get out of this. To sum up, at around £1,000, I think this was $999 when we got it. I don't expect there to be sharp fret ends, and when I get it out of the box, I expect it to be set up. Maybe I'm out of order with that. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but for my money, if I'm spending £1,000 on a guitar, especially with a company like Fender, I do not expect sharp fret ends, and I don't expect to get a screwdriver out and have to do my own setup. At that price point, it should be done already when it's gone through QC. As I said, let me know what you think in the comments. That being said, with those issues sorted out, so with a decent setup and the frets sorted out, this thing has all of the makings of being a really good, awesome workhorse guitar. Obviously with the Roadworn finish on this, you don't have to worry about getting dings on it when you're playing at gigs because it's already got dings on it. It's got that familiar feeling Roadworn neck where it just feels like you've been playing it for years already. So that stuff is great, and as I said, it's got all the makings of being an awesome workhorse guitar. It's just a shame with the fret issues and it not being set up. I can't say it's an awesome guitar for £1,000, but you know, it's limited edition, so by the time this video goes out, they might have all sold out. Did you get one of these? Was yours okay out of the box? Let me know, because I'm really interested to know if it's just like a Friday afternoon Corona job, or is it something more? Yeah, let me know. Other than that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.